Hey everyone, thank you for coming back. Today's a big day. Today is the 3-month birthday, I guess, of this camera. This is the Sony FX30. It's been about 3 months to the day. I want to talk about why I love it for YouTube, why I love its autofocus, why I love it in general. I finally got to do a proper outdoor slow-mo test with some sports. I'll probably ramble on a lot about it, but that's kind of just what you do when you're in love, right? Let's talk about it. So let's talk about the everyday rig. Everything that I'm going to mention, I'll try to leave in the description with links off of Amazon. This isn't sponsored by any means. These are just things that I've picked up that I've really enjoyed over the past 3 months, or that I've newly acquired and thought would be really helpful in terms of like building out the camera. As I mentioned before, I really love my Sony FX30 for making any kind of videos, including these YouTube videos. It's the first thing I'll reach for. Is this camera body right here. This is the Sony E Power Zoom 10-20G lens. The power zoom is great on here, especially since the crop sensor. This wide angle is really great. It gets you in a lot of tight spaces that you might not be able to shoot otherwise. And I love this little lens, especially if I'm like vlogging or you just need something that's really low profile and I know I can manage the sun. This was like the go-to lens for me. And in my daily life, I shoot photos full time, and so I have the Canon R6 is what I'm shooting this video on, so I have a lot of Canon EF lenses around. And so once I realized that the focus actually worked really well with this is the Sigma MC11 EF to E converter that I've had for a few years. I noticed that the autofocus was working really well, and so I started using this 24-70 2.8 from Sigma, which is stabilized. It's a beautiful lens. It's 2.8. I love this 24-70. It gets the job done all the time. I will say this lens is very heavy, but it does get the job done. And if it's on a tripod or something, even a gimbal at times, this lens is beautiful. And for my general audio or my reference audio, generally I just keep this Rode Video Mic Go on my camera. It's pretty great. It does everything I need it to. If I need to mic someone, I can do that. But this is kind of just on my camera at all times, ready to go if I needed some quick audio solutions. And if I'm looking for more advanced audio solutions, I'll go to this H4n Pro from Zoom. It's been great. I think I got it for around $200. It has XLR ports. It's the on recorder mics are pretty good. This thing has also been pretty reliable for me, so I like using this thing too. Moving on to the top handle, I bought this small rig lightweight cold shoe top handle light. Got on Amazon. It was around $30. It's got a bunch of cold shoes. It's got the threading that I need. It's very light, fits perfectly just on the cold shoe that the camera has. It's been a great solution whenever I need, just some general attachments for the camera itself. I also picked up this Ulanzi mini ball head, the H28 panoramic tripod head. Also very cheap. It's kind of cool that it goes in every direction. So sometimes I'll try to mount a GoPro or the 360 camera on there, or even my phone with the adapter. It's just a cool little accessory to have at the front, just in case I need to record anything else or a different perspective. And it could also just kind of be a good place for a microphone if you're not picking up too much of the autofocus, or even like if I have the external recorder on here, this might be a good solution for that too. It's nice to be able to have it. You never know when those things come in handy. You can even mount it in the threading that's on the camera itself. So pretty flexible stuff. This side handle is a little bit improvised. It's also from Small Rig. I love Small Rig. Maybe someday Small Rig will send me stuff and sponsor me. I don't know if I can tag them. I'll figure that out in a little bit. This side handle is actually from my gimbal, from my Zhun. And so, I just thought I'd thread it on the bottom and use it as, a hand grip on this side, just to kind of balance the camera out a little bit. It's got threading on it. It has cold shoe. This thing's pretty great. I really love this. I love that it's a flexible product. You can even, probably spin it around if you're a lefty and wanted to, just have a different grip on the camera body itself, just to balance things out a little bit. This is the FeelWorld F5 5-inch full HD HDMI on-camera monitor. It has 4K support, and they came with a little tilt arm. And I love this little monitor. It's so small, and it keeps the weight of my rig down, even though it's giving me a better image. The tilt arm is great. It also has a cold shoe. It also has a lot of features that I probably don't understand at this point. And so if you're looking for this, something that has, some advanced features, it's probably one worth looking into. Every now and then it'll be the deal of the day on Best Buy, or I'm sorry, on B&H, and it's just a good little monitor. Again, keeps everything compact and nimble if I need to be moving around. The HDMI cable is nothing special. I got it at Best Buy for however much it cost. It's nice quality. I trust it. I trust the full size HDMI on the Sony, so it's nothing in particular that I was looking for, but it is a great cable that I've grown to rely on. Also, talk a little bit on memory cards. In general, I keep this 64 gigabyte Sony Tough Card in my camera for slow-mo stuff, for anything that might be high bit rate. It's a great card. It's built really well. Can't really tell on camera, but it's worth the expense, especially if you're like, I just need one really good card. This is one to invest in. I really love this card. And I'll also try to keep one of these SanDisk cards. They're not anything crazy. They're not super expensive. They're a pretty good value per gigabyte. And so I try to keep, this is a 256. And so that's about like 7-ish hours of recording. I really like to have these around. I swap them in and out just so they're not being used like very excessively, and they retain their quality. It's good just to have these and invest in these for any kind of like photography, videography needs that, where you might have a long day and need something that's gonna last a while. So yeah, this is what my rig looks like. I like having a lot of interchangeable pieces. I like having different lenses. The 10-20 is great. The 24-70 is great, even though if it might be a little bit heavier, a little hard to carry. Doesn't feel like there's a ton of moving pieces, but everything that I have here I really like and I like to rely on. And it's just it feels good in the hands, and that's always super important. And now let's get into what I've seen about this camera over the last 3 months that I've really liked. Maybe a little bit of some dislikes, but mostly it's a positive review for this camera, especially since it's my first video sensor camera. I didn't know what to expect, but I am really enjoying it. I'll kind of just lay that out here. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. Being that I'm mostly going to use this for sports during the summer, I shoot a lot of baseball. Baseball is, getting to the outfielders, even with a 300 or 400 millimeter lens, can be kind of tough. So having the crop isn't that bad. Sometimes I need that extra range, especially if I'm trying to do something in slow motion. Like that little bit of crop will do me some good. Actually, that's the way I see it. I also just tested the slow motion capabilities, the 4K 120, the 1080 240 over the weekend at a soccer practice that I was helping some friend do some marketing for. And it's great. The 4K 120 looks amazing. The autofocus held up really well, and that was with Sigma lenses that are made for EF, but they're adapted. They did really well. Didn't have a problem with any cards or anything. I will say that the 1080 240 didn't look amazing. There's a lot to be desired there, but the 4K 120 was like top notch, and so I'm going to use that a lot for sports or events as I need it. So, and the 4K 60 obviously being that it's a little bit wider in terms of the downscaling is going to be amazing too if you're only looking for the 4K 60. It's been great for these sit down talks that I have with the camera. It's been reliable. It doesn't overheat. It's pretty hard to overheat stuff even in El Paso during the winter, but it's just been ultra reliable, and that's as much as I can say about it. There's good things. I shot the practice for about 2 hours. The battery lasted. I would say if you're shooting everything in slow motion, you'll probably get about 1 full hour of battery life guaranteed, which is really good if you have multiple batteries like I do. I think you'll be fine. And if you're charging, you know, in intervals, everything will be okay. And if you're like me and you're looking for your first video-centric camera and this is in your price range, I would suggest renting it. If you want to buy it, buy it. It's a pretty great camera. I've had no issues with it. There's, you know, a ton of things I could go on and ramble about, tally lamps and, you know, lots of little things that are wonderful, mounting ports, you know, all that kind of stuff that a cinema camera, you know, with those features would offer you. If you have any suggestions that you can give me to maximize what this camera can do, feel free to leave them in the comments, or, you know, send me in the right direction. I'm happy to listen to all those things and learn more and be a better video shooter. Again, I'm just starting very seriously, still growing this channel, still learning how to edit and do transitions and all that stuff. So any of those things are, you know, those resources are more than welcome here. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. This little channel is growing day by day, and that's super exciting. You know, it's just me. This is something I do on top of my photography career where I freelance full time. So all of your support is super welcome here. You know, it's just me. I'm not, you know, just reviewing things in a long list of things that need to be reviewed. I really use this thing. I really like it. And so I look forward to making more videos about it as I'm learning about it. I'll also link all my socials below. Like I said, I do photography full time. This is my YouTube. My Twitter can be kind of funny sometimes. Not always, but it can be kind of funny. And I don't really use my Facebook, but I'll drop it in there along with my website. I've also been making Apple-centric videos. Like I made one on the Apple Watch that I got. I also made one on the new Macs that just came out. So it's just a lot of, you know, just trying to make videos about the things that I love. Also, if you have any video suggestions for this or any other products that you want to see, feel free to just leave a comment below, and, you know, that'll be something that I can work on. Thank you again for watching. See ya.